Hello, everybody. How are we all doing today? If you're gonna ask me, I think I'm doing pretty well. But I saw this one video on Instagram that I wanted to share because it kind of like I wasn't originally planning to do this video, but it kind of like sparked a conversation in my head, and I just had to talk about it. And that is obviously bar encounters. Now, I'm only a freshman. I just finished my freshman year of college, going into my sophomore year, so I'm fairly inexperienced, but still have a little bit of experience. Obviously, I'm only at the beginning of my career, but you go to these places. I'm like a pretty introverted person. Like I like mostly being on my own, but there are those Friday and Saturday nights. I just get done. With a crazy week. Having to deal with my annoying ass biology professors and TAs. The professors and TAs are actually really chill. The other students in my class who try their hardest to sabotage your grade to make the curve more favorable for them. You get to the end of these weeks, and your lab completely failed because you didn't have any clue what to do with the flies or whatever. Fucking squishing the flies in my little test tube, which aren't even my own flies because only one student in the class actually did all the crosses correctly to get the right, third generation of flies, to get the correct third generation of flies. So I'm borrowing flies from her. I'm squeezing them in this little test tube, and it smells like rotten egg because of the protein mixture they're using to break down the barriers of all the cells in these flies, so they can get the DNA and uh, whatever the case. Talking about this makes me want to kill myself. So I get to the end of a week, I want to kill myself, and I want to go out and meet some people. And so you go to a bar, you go to a frat party, or you go to a club or wherever. You drink a little bit, obviously, and you meet some people. But this video sparked my attention because kind of put into question like what's the appropriate way to approach someone that you know you find attractive, because you don't just want to miss your opportunity, right? But people are like, you know obviously it's really hard because there's rules you have to follow. You shouldn't be overstepping your boundaries. You obviously have to follow Title 9 and all that. And beyond that, you want to be able to not annoy the girl. You want to, present yourself well so that they're interested in you. And maybe you hit it off. You know what? Maybe you don't. It's okay. You move on to the next. Um, but, there's like a fine line that you have to walk where you're not overstepping your presence, but that you're still showing interest in them. So you don't miss your opportunity because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But this real brought into question like my whole ideology. So I'm gonna go ahead. I think I need to restart it. I saved it for this. Don't mind all these other reels. I'm a yeah. So you guys can probably see this.
What's your name? I said, what's your name? She takes off her dress. Now let me go. Jealousy. Where are you from? Body on my. What are you drinking? Let's do a shot. How I pictured me with you. I'm picturing it right now.
I'm gonna stop. I mean that is the end. But you get it. Guy's pretty in your face, pretty obnoxious and everything. Clearly hella drunk, sweaty, kind of annoying. Whatever. I just realized also the way I just jumped into watching this reel. Wasn't preparing you guys at all. Still new to YouTube and everything. But for, there's this reel, and then there's also the comments too. This person, this girl is saying, and his tongue is anything but the color it's supposed to be, and his breath reeks. The sweat stains are 1,000%, 10,000%, sorry, accurate. You're too good at this. I'm having a trauma response. Then he asks his friend as if you're single. Angel shop. He's like, you like. It just makes me wonder, like, damn. I didn't realize so many people thought this was in an inappropriate way because I didn't think he's not crossing any lines. He's not, you know, doing anything unconsensual or maybe you don't consent to having him in your face, but he's allowed to exist as long as he's not doing anything physical. And if you tell him to go away, hey, please go away, you'd expect that he'd go away. It's just He's drunk and his breath stinks and he's sweaty. How dare he? But I think someone like responded to this really well in the comments. I'm gonna see if I find it because like I looked at this and I was like, come on, like isn't that normal? Like you go to the bar to meet new people. Like how else are you supposed to do it if there's music playing? Isn't that like the perfect way that you meet someone? You just dance and you vibe and you go up to them and you just like sing the lyrics. Like that's the whole reason why you're there. To meet other people, maybe to find the love of your life, which is probably not going to happen at a college bar or a frat party. Let's be honest, but you know might as well try. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like I don't really see like it's accurate. Don't get me wrong, but I don't really see there's people in the comments being like, I need an angel shot. This dude's creeping me out. Like memory unlocked. This is traumatic for me, and I'm not gonna go out of my way to say just say you're wrong. Like they have their own experiences, and if they feel they've been violated, who's gonna say they're wrong and everything? But I do think they're taking this a little bit too seriously. Like like this what this guy does in particular. I don't think he's not you know I don't know. This comment explains it really well. I honestly don't get how people are supposed to get to know each other anymore. The guy's just enjoying the music, having fun, asking completely normal questions, and yeah, sweating is normal too. I understand what's funny about the video, and it's pretty accurate in a way. But at the same time, videos like this and comment sections make guys even more insecure about approaching someone or simply being themselves. And I'm sitting here like, exactly, bro. Isn't you couldn't have said it any better. I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, isn't this the exact reason why you go to bars to meet new people, to sing and dance and have fun with other people? It's not it's not like he's violating Title IX or like doing anything unconsensual. This all seems pretty normal to me. And I've got some experience now that I've been to college and been in bars or been in parties. Um, I've been a, I've approached people. I've been approached equally as much, actually, if not even more. I've been approached. So I want to go into like a little bit of story time too, but yeah, I just wanted to let my 2 cents on this. Like I don't think this is really all that bad. Like I don't think this is completely inappropriate. The way people in the comments are you know, getting all mad about it. But I thought I'd bring up my own story time, and then we can maybe have a little bit of analysis of what we think is appropriate and inappropriate afterwards. And obviously, if there's anyone watching this video, you can put your own 2 cents into the comments. But yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about it. So I'm gonna go full screen here, so that we don't have to see this awful dude's face anymore. You don't have to see his ugly face. You get to see my pretty face now. I'm just beautiful like that. Let me do my hair and everything. Let me do a story time. Um, because I've been approached myself. It's not just girls. Guys get approached. I go to a pretty elite university, and so a lot of the people are there because they're really smart. Does not you know not to say people who are really smart can't be good looking, but it's not a state school. I'm probably pretty high up that ladder, not to be you know. I'll remain humble though. But I've been approached. So I want to talk about this one time I was at this party, one of the more popular frats on campus. They have a really nice house. Um, we managed to get in because I was with this other guy. Which, by the way, this fits in like a larger story overall, which is more impactful on my life and my morals. But I guess I'll keep it pretty lighthearted and to the point with what this video is. This guy's not a great person, but he was who I was with that night because I wanted to go out and he wanted to go out. And he spends money. He gets us in this frat party, and we're in the common area right when you enter, which is where their main dance floor is, because that's it's pretty empty, open, empty space, um, which allows for having nice parties, and it's got the tables on the side for the girls to get up and dance, and at the back near the fireplace is where the DJ booth is, and it's pretty nice. But so I don't know, this dude who I'm not too keen on calling my friend, but I guess for the purpose of this video, uh, story time, maybe for a different video, I'll talk about. He's off, you know, talking to some other girl or like getting into fights with the brothers at this frat that we're at. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like drunk, but like I'm still like self aware. And I'm just chilling there, sipping my beer. Um Not, buzzed, but like not too deep. There's these two girls, like I saw them once or twice. There's some people I know here, there's some people I don't know here. I'm just vibing, I'm just trying to meet new people. I'm not actually trying to like do anything too serious, because of past experiences. Again, that's all for a different story. But I'm just trying to vibe. I'm trying to go out, trying to get a little drunk. That's the main appeal for me because at the time I had no real other way of getting my hands on alcohol. I didn't have a fake yet, and this person, these two girls who like didn't really pay too much attention to a blonde and a brunette. But like I'm just like sitting there, on my own, thinking, what should I do next? Who should I go talk to next? What's the move? And I see this one of the girls like on her own, like standing right in front of me, who I had seen earlier was with this other blonde girl, this brunette girl, and she's like standing there, just like looking at me. I'm like, huh, that's really weird. So like, 'cause it's dark in this room, and like I'm buzzed, still self aware, but like not fully able to process what's going on. At least it is like I can't fully process with my brain, but I'm still like aware of myself. I turn to my left, bro. I don't know if you've ever seen those TikToks of like these guys who like do these like goofy ass dances, bro. But I swear, there's this girl like an inch away from my leg, bro. Her butt's like an inch away from my leg, bro. And she's turned away from me, butt's like right there. And she's doing this goofy ass dance and she's not touching me. So like that's why I wasn't aware that she was there earlier. Like it was only through my hearing sense isn't gonna capture her because it's super noisy. My visual sense before wasn't capturing her because it's dark in that room, and like I have a little bit of tunnel vision at this point, and my feeling sense isn't gonna my smell sense because it just smells like alcohol in the place. And she's just doing this goofy ass dance. Like I guess she was supposed to be grinding, but to me it just looked like she was doing like this dance where like her arms are like, but she's turned the other way. I'm just like, huh, that's really odd. Like I kid you not, my reaction. Here's a Lacroix, a Lacroix. I just like I turned and I noticed she's there. I'm like, and like as I said, like I'm drunk enough to be self aware, so I'm not about to just like turn and go boom boom boom. Like bro, I have a little bit of a sense of shame to not just like be that degenerate right then and there, And so I just turn. I'm uh, like I'm drunk enough to be self aware, but not to know what the fuck to do. So I just don't know what to do. I just go and then walk the other way, bro. Kid you not. And I know, bro, you know, like if you're a girl and a guy does that to you, that's like really weird, bro. That's really weird. But as a guy, like, you know, who evolution has favored to be like stronger and not anatomically, like it's like it's a little different. Like that's why like, you know, I, I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. But point is, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was violated or anything, but it's pretty weird, no. But I'm also like a grown adult. Like, it's not like I'm helpless in this situation. I can literally just walk the other way as I did. Uh, and then there'll be guys who'll be like, you're complaining about what? Like, oh, waiter, waitress, my lobster's too buttery, my steak is too juicy, or if you ain't gonna play, pass the controller. And I completely agree, bro. Like, maybe now, or if I was horny at the time, like, maybe I would have turned her around and like asked her for her name or whatever. But that's a weird way to be approached. Not just having a guy like if she like came up and started singing the lyrics of the song to me, or like asking me for my name or what I'm drinking. That like I would have appreciated that much more than if she approached me like that. Like you see what I'm saying? Like there's much more inappropriate ways. That's one thing that happened that night. And then later that night, different approach. Again, I was kind of just like being awkward, just chilling there, sipping my cheap beer because the frat didn't feel like even buying Bush Light. Apparently, that was still too expensive for them. And this was far worse, bro. She like touches me on the shoulder and like aggressively turns me around, bro. And like I still wasn't particularly like drunk at the time, bro. Um, and so like I wasn't looking for anything too serious, but I was like, whatever. I guess I'll hang out with her for the moment because she's nice. Starting off the whole thing by grinding on me, bro. Again, like I'm not so degenerate that I'm gonna start fucking humping you back, bro. Like, come on now. I have a little bit of a sense of shame, so it was nice that at least she was trying to talk to me at the very beginning. And so we go up to the bar. We get some drinks. It's free because it's a frat party, not an actual bar. And she's being weird the whole time, bro. I don't remember too much of what happened, but she was drunker than I was, but she like thought I was hella drunk. She was like putting me against the wall. Oh, like you're okay? Like I got that giant ass bug just fucking went into my cup, bro. Now look how big this thing is, bro. I think it's still in there and it's suffocated on the water. Dude, that thing is ginormous. It's a fucking moth or something. I don't know if you saw that. If I caught that on video, my cup was off to the side, bro. Oh, and now I spilled shit on my fucking computer, bro. Look at this prime content you guys are getting. Whatever the case, she starts asking me weird questions. I don't think she goes to college. Um, um, and she, by the way, this party is like not particularly busy. Like, it's not popping. It's the biggest frat on campus, but like it's also close to the end of the quarter. Um, so finals are upcoming. It's a little bit early to study for them for people who actually want to have fun. But I guess the people who need to have their 4.5 GPAs are probably studying this Friday night. So it's not too busy in there, um, which I think is important to set the scene. She starts asking me like weird questions like, "Do you have a roommate?" Yeah, I do. Can we go back to your dorm, bro? Like, look, I wasn't in the mood. I didn't find her all that attractive, and like I'm not dude who like if I'm like alone on a Friday or Saturday night, I'm like, yeah, dude, I would take someone and crack them right now. But I don't know what happened. Like it's like the post nut clarity came to me like an hour before the potential nut would have actually occurred. But I was just like, nah, like I wasn't like feeling it. She was like, "Do you want to make out?" Nah, let me get a little drunker. Uh, you want to go to the bathroom? You can imagine what she probably wants to do in the bathroom. I'm like, nah, we can wait, we can wait. Like I'm not feeling that right now. And she just keeps asking that questions. In fact, she tells me, all right, if you don't want to if you don't want to make out, like I won't, like I completely like abide by consent laws and everything. And I kid you not, 2 minutes later she goes in for a kiss anyways, bro. I just turn my face like that, so she just kisses my cheek. And by the way, like the comments said in that video, her breath reeked of beer. But that's also just because, the frat was serving really shitty, cheap beer called Hams or something disgusting. And it was warm. Like, I don't know why they can't just have Bush Light from the fridge, but whatever. It reeked. But, anyways, I just like, no, like, we can't go back to my dorm. For one, my roommate's probably asleep. And if he's not, and he's like studying elsewhere, like, what am I going to do? Kick him out of the room so I can have sexual intercourse with this lady, or like put on a sock on the door so when he comes back from brushing his teeth or studying in a different room and wants to just go to bed, he can't because she's in my bed and she probably wouldn't leave for that night. So it just wasn't logistically going to happen. And anyways, I wasn't too keen on it happening. I wasn't drunk enough. I didn't find her particularly attractive. She was really just kind of like, like something came over me, or maybe it was my morals again from the stories surrounding this whole context, which is more impactful in my life. I wasn't trying to do anything that evening. Uh, even though I'm still a virgin. But I could have very well have lost my virginity that night if I was willing. Going on to the dance floor, she keeps asking me these questions. Can we go back to your room? To your dorm room? Can we go to the bathroom? Can we make out? And I just keep telling her no, no, no. We even go out on the dance floor, bro, and I make an absolute fool of myself in front of people I know, including my exes there. Um, and like I'm just making a fool of myself, like with my beer in one hand and her in the other hand, like dancing like at the very front and the DJ in front of other motherfuckers I know, like just making an absolute fool of myself, dude. Embarrassing myself over a girl I don't even find all that attractive, bro. And eventually, dude, I realized I need to get myself out of this situation. I didn't know how. So I eventually just like waited until she realized I wasn't interested, and she like immediately turned and like started talking to another guy. I was like, now's my time. And I absolutely dipped like straight from the cartoon with my hands up on my tippy toes. And I run to the other side of the fucking house to the dance floor, bro. I made it out, bro. Anyways, two ways not to approach people at the bar. Uh, but I guess if I'm going to continue with this story time, you know, when I've typically approached girls at the bar, like it's not as aggressive as the way those two girls approached me. For me, it's usually like I've done it like twice, really. Not often all that successful, but it's literally just like going face to face and saying some questions, or like just like literally just like doing the frat flick and vibing to the music, and usually like you don't even have to sing it, bro, and that's pretty appropriate. And then then you just talk to them, and then you see where you go, and obviously you abide by Title IX. You don't do anything unconsensual, and usually you know it's pretty appropriate, I would say. Um, Actually, I once met a girl who actually like we dated for a while after this. It obviously didn't work out. That's what happens when you meet people at these sorts of parties. But we met by her being hella drunk and just like coming over to me. You're really attractive. You smell really good, and just falling on me like that. I remember catching her, and her friends were there. She was like, "Can I get your Instagram?" And I wasn't again like I wasn't like all that drunk yet. So like, I felt it was my obligation to not like to just like catch her and put her back on her feet and take my hands off. Basically, I mean, if she's falling on me, like that's not me initiating that contact. So it's nothing inappropriate for me, right? I wouldn't say. And I don't think her falling is like inappropriate from her. Like I'm chill to just put her back. Like I don't feel violated by that. But we exchanged Instagram. Her friends carried her out or something because she was really drunk, and I got drunker. And we met later in that evening. She came, fell on me again, and bro, for some reason I was like, I'm just gonna pick her up, bro. so I did, bro. But anyways, like we ended up meeting up like a couple days later and just going out on a few dates. But it really ended at that. Like, but anyways, inappropriate ways, aggressively touching people or going up to them. But if you're gonna do it like the way the guy did in this video, like if it's not like there's no physical touching, that's at least like none without consent. And obviously like also like you know it's hard also social norms, like it is also weird to just be like like sometimes you gotta go with a vibe and like try and get a sense. Regardless, I usually say like, look, if you're not like 99.999% certain doing anything physical, like just straight up don't, because you obviously like you know you want to be a good person, and you don't want to do anything illegal or anything unconsensual. Um, which I think most people would say, hey, that's like very valid. But yeah, don't just go up and start twerking on people. I guess she wasn't touching me, but you know still I would consider that pretty inappropriate. I don't feel violated from that one, but did not make me want to stay with her. It made me feel like some of these girls in this comment section here, like grossed out, you know, not wanting to have to deal with this person or, you know, have any sort of relationship with them whatsoever. And then there was like aggressively turning someone around and trying to go in for kisses and stuff like that other girl was with me, which was probably innocent, where I probably was violent. I didn't feel that way afterwards, but I would never want to go near her again because of that. But I don't think this is particularly bad. I guess like it's your opinion, like if you don't want to go near him again. But I don't think it's like particularly inappropriate. I guess it really is just like up to preference. Like as long like it's not up to preference if it's unconsensual. Like that's obviously just absolutely not. But beyond that, like what's inappropriate and appropriate, like I guess that's decided by the individuals. But for me, I don't find this particularly inappropriate. I wouldn't mind if a girl approached me like this. I would approach a girl like that. If they weren't vibing with me, I would want to leave, bro. Um, yeah, this is a really stupid ass video, and I hope it doesn't get me put in jail for something I've said. But I'm pretty sure I've conducted myself appropriately in all these past situations. So, you know, we'll see how it does. I also just want to say, I know I'm talking about how I've like been with a lot of girls and parties and stuff. I really haven't, and I'm also like yet to lose my virginity as a 19-year-old going on sophomore year in college. So, you know, I feel like my hands are mostly pretty clean. Not that blister right there. I've been doing lawn work because I'm a grown ass man, but you know, yeah. Should I post this video? Yeah, I don't see why not. Anyways, yeah, don't like as long as like you're conducting yourself appropriately in a way that is abiding by the law. It like wouldn't get you like not hired for jobs in the future because of the way you conduct yourself. Just shoot your shot, bro. Shoot your shot. Don't let videos like this and girls like this in the comment section, you know, make you feel insecure. Again, I refer back to that comment by uh, this person. Like, you're there to meet new people, so just meet new people. You know, have a little bit of fun now and ooh, hiccups. But yeah, I end this video there.